What's up, everyone? Strong Sweet Caroline is here, and as you can see, I'm at the gym again, but I've got heels on today, so I'm going to demonstrate some wellness and bikini posing tips that I've been noticing with some of my posing clients lately. So I want to help clarify a few things between the two divisions.
Number 56, Caroline Divas.
I know a lot of women want to cross over between bikini and wellness. They're still trying to decide, which category is going to be best for them and the look that they want. So at the end of the day, that's great. I encourage you to explore and figure out what you really want to do. But you also have to be mindful that each category, they are looking at different things and the criteria are different. So before we get started, both divisions, they do want developed leg muscles. But we know for wellness, it is the only division in bodybuilding that is encouraging asymmetry. So an imbalance between the upper body muscle development to the lower body. So when you are posing in bikini, you want it to look more symmetrical. It is more model-esque, Sports Illustrated type of look, whereas wellness is more bottom heavy, still a very muscular look, almost to the level of figure for muscularity in the upper body, not quite that conditioning. So when you're posing it, that is something you want to take into consideration with the legs. So rule number one is always showing your glute shape when possible. So we know in a bikini front pose, most of the time we're going to be angling our glute towards the judges, but it might not be to a 90-degree turn like you see on a side model shot like in wellness. Wellness side model shot versus a bikini front pose. Two very similar poses, but a little different. So in the bikini pose, your legs, you actually want to have them a little bit further apart because we want to make the lines come out and them to be quote unquote streamlined is what a lot of judges are calling it. Essentially, they want it to look more slender. They don't want to see a big quad. They don't want to be seeing a big adductor. Obviously, I do wellness, so you see that. So even if I try to make my legs look more slender, depending on if I bring my leg in, my adductor is still very visible. So in bikini, that's something you want to take in consideration. With wellness in the side pose, we actually want to have a 90-degree angle here to see this glute shape into the hamstring. And then we are going to place our foot almost identically next to the other one. And we're going to rotate this knee in. So what does that do? Makes this leg look thicker. We're going to have the upper body set, rotate this knee in, bam. We have more leg development here versus bikini front pose. You actually want to rotate the calf towards the judge, and that's making that leg look leaner, more slender. So those are two things that I'm noticing with a lot of my posing clients right now when it comes to the front pose and variation between bikini and wellness. Another piece is the transitions. So when it comes to transitions, there are no rules specifically to what you have to do and what you shouldn't do. But there are some things you want to keep in mind when making your transitions. So rule number one, when going from a front or your first pose into a back pose, you want to keep your glutes up. So when you push your glutes up, we go from a front pose, even transition here, if I let my glute come down at all versus pushing it up, it takes away shape. Even in a mandatory transition, if I'm coming from a side pose and I keep my glute up versus, and you bring it down, you lose shape and you lose size. The judges see you whenever you are on stage. From the moment you are at the stairs to the moment you walk down the stairs, the judges can be looking at you. So always keep that in mind. You want to keep your glutes up. Even going into a back pose, you need to make sure you're pushing your glutes back, but up as well, And your lower back should be tight. If your lower back is not tight, there's a good chance that you are not putting enough effort into the back pose. And even when you are, once again, transitioning to the side, if we can keep that glute up, it gives us more curvature here through the lat. Even if I were to do a bikini front pose on this side, and I'm rotating, if I keep my glute up here, we really want to show and emphasize that glute shape, because that's what these two divisions are really emphasizing. So let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate everyone for joining in for some wellness posing tips. If you are interested in booking a session with me, send me an email. My links are down below, but it's strongsweetcaroline@gmail.com.